Hey guys, it's Mary. Today I want to talk about Christmas in Italy. My mom's on the phone right now, so sorry if you can hear that. But one of the most important ways to celebrate Christmas in Italy is the nativity crib scene. Using a crib to help tell the Christmas story is made very popular by St. Francis of Assisi. And that's not how you say whoa. Assisi. Still can't say that for some reason. Anyway, St. Francis in 1223. Assisi, that's it, is in Middle Italy. The previous year he had visited Bethlehem and saw where the stable where it was thought Jesus was born. A lot of Italian families have a nativity crib in their homes. The city of Naples in Italy is world famous for its cribs and crib making. They are known as the Presepe Napolitano, meaning the Napolitan cribs. I do not speak Italian, by the way, guys. Sorry about that. First crib seen in Naples is thought to go back to 1025 and was in the church of Xxmarykatebeautyxx del Presepe, St. Mary of the Crib. This was even before St. Francis of Assisi have made cribs very popular. Having cribs in your home became popular in the 16th century and is still popular today. Before that, only churches and monasteries have cribs. Cribs are traditionally bought on December 8th, but the figures of the baby Jesus are put in the crib until the evening night of December 24th, aka the 8th of Christmas, also known as when he was born. So, essentially, that's something actually I kind of grew up with this too, was this stable with putting him in on Christmas Eve. So I guess that might be an Italian tradition. But sometimes the nativity scene is displayed in the shape of a pyramid, which can be meters tall. So, hold up. Let me do this. Meters in feet. So we get a general in American because we don't use meter. So 1 meter is about 3.28 feet. So if it's meters tall, typically that would be at least 2 meters, means it's basically 6.5 feet tall, which is pretty tall, especially because I'm like 5'4", so I'm average for a woman in America, but I would be short compared to that easily. That's literally a foot taller than me. It is made of several tiers of shelves and is decorated with colored paper, gold-covered pine cones, and small candles. A small star is hung inside the top of the pyramid triangle. The shelves above the manger scene might also contain fruit, candy, and presents. One special thing about Neapolitan cribs is that they have always displayed not only characters and figures from the Christmas story, but also everyday people and objects, such as houses, waterfalls, food, animal, and even figures of famous people and politicians. Naples is also the home to the largest crib scene in the world, which has over 600 objects in it. In Naples, there is still a street of nativity scene makers called Via San Gregorio Armeno. In the street, you can buy wonderful handmade crib decorations and figures, and of course, the whole crib. One old Italian custom is that the children go out carol singing and playing songs on shepherd's pipes, wearing shepherd's sandals and hats. On Christmas Eve, it is common that no meat, and also sometimes no dairy, is eaten. Often a light seafood meal is eaten, and then people will go to midnight mass service. The types of fish and how they are served vary between different regions in Italy. When people return from mass, it is cold. You might have a slice of Italian Christmas cake called panettone, which is a dry, fruity sponge cake, and a cup of hot chocolate. For many Italian-American families, a big Christmas Eve meal is different fishes now a very popular tradition. It is known as the Feast of the Seven Fishes, Festa dia Siete Pesci in Italian. The feast seems to have its root in southern Italy and is brought over to the USA by Italian immigrants in the 1800s. It now seems more popular in America than it is in Italy. Common types of fish eaten in the feast include bacala, salted cod, clams, calamari, sardines, and eel. There are different theories as to why there are 7 fish dishes eaten. Some think they represent the 7 represents the 7th day of creation in the Bible. Others say it represents the 7 holy sacraments of the Catholic Church. But some families have more than 7 dishes. We would have 9 to represent the Christian Trinity times 3, 13 to represent Jesus and his 12 disciples, or 11 for the 11 disciples without Jesus or Judas. Now Judas would be out of there because he was the one who turned in Jesus. That I do understand. The Christmas celebrations start 8 days before Christmas with the special novenas, or series of prayers such church services. We actually do that too, like some churches in America. Like the one I go to, I know personally does that. Leading up to Christmas for those. In 8 days. So, yeah. Some families have Quipo or Yule log, which is burnt through the Christmas season. That is tells you how to say Merry Christmas, but some of this is Sicilian and Latin, and I definitely do not speak those languages. So, going into the Epiphany. Epiphany is also important in Italy. On Epiphany, my children believe that the old lady called Bifina brings presents to them. The story about Bifina bringing presents is very similar to the story of Babushka. Oh Lord. Children put stockings up by the fireplace for Bifina to fill. Part of the northern Italy and the 3 kings might bring you presents rather than Bifina. On Christmas Day, Babbo Natale, Santa Claus, might bring them some small gifts, but the main day for giving is on the Epiphany. So for those of you who don't know what a babushka is, a babushka, by Google Translate's term, or no, by the dictionary term, is an old woman or grandmother in Russian, but in North America is a headscarf tied under the chin, which is typically worn by Polish and Russian women. That's why I said oh dear. Yes, it seems like Italy is pretty eventful for Christmas. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Love you. See ya. Bye.